All right. Good morning, everyone. We are kicking off an early FY 2024 CINR FOA webinar. I'd like to welcome everybody. Today we will be doing the funding opportunity announcement overviews. We'll have a separate opportunity for the topic areas, which were just released on Friday. To kick things off, I'd like to introduce our Assistant Secretary for Nuclear Energy, Dr. Katie Huff, to provide some opening remarks. Katie, take it away.
Thank you so much, Drew, and thank you to the team. Thank you for all of the faculty and stakeholders that are here today. I am extremely excited about this set of releases. It is especially, as Drew noted, early, which I think is really important. One, it reflects a suggestion from many stakeholders that has been made over time that it is really important to get information about what kinds of funding you'll have available in order to recruit graduate students. And the intent here is to change the timeline, perhaps forever if it works well, so that you all get information about your NUP awards in time for that graduate student decision deadline. You've asked for it before. This team has been really attentive at trying to reach some of the goals you all put forth in your responses to the requests for information to this office. And this is one of the ones that was going to be the hardest lift. In fact, there was a time when it seemed obvious that in order to accomplish this, we might have to skip an entire whole year of funding. But I want to assure you that this team, this university program team, worked really, really hard to make sure that wasn't the case. But what it's going to take is a great deal of effort. So I do want to acknowledge that moving to this time when pre-proposals will be due earlier, full proposals will be reviewed quicker, final proposal, full proposals will be invited sooner and completed sooner. All of that should lead to a universe in which you're getting information in a more in an earlier time frame rather than midsummer. You should get it in time to be helpful in the context of recruiting graduate students, particularly for the R&D awards. It took a lot of work, and I am really grateful to the team that put it together to make this timeline change. But I have a request for all of you. I think, as will probably be discussed by others, moving this review timeline will certainly require real timeliness on the part of you all as you do your reviews. And I know everyone always attempts to be as timely as possible in reviewing NEUP pre-proposals and full proposals, but I've been there, timeline slip. I think if there's a year when you make sure that, you try to get yourself and your colleagues reviewing these proposals in a timely manner, this is that year, because it's going to enable this transition from the former timeline to the future timeline. I think it's also important that the flexibility of the scopes continues to be increased, again, as a response to your suggestions. So thank you for those suggestions. I think the flexibility of those scopes, though, does put more proposals into a smaller number of buckets. So it takes all the proposals and it just reduces the number of total buckets across which you'll compete, which does potentially mean that a number of reviewers will experience a higher volume of review requests per reviewer. And I want to acknowledge that that may be hard on some of you, but it is also driving towards this goal that we should be able to have more flexibility in the work scopes. So if you find that you have a lot more reviews this year than you have in the past, definitely let the team know if it's outside of your scope, but also recognize the contributions that you're making to this change in the program that we expect to be accomplishing your requests. And if you think that there are folks who aren't on the reviewer list, who should be, definitely always make sure that you're helping yourself by helping others to get on that list, letting the team here know who could be reviewing, who isn't, and what as many people benefit from that process. Anyway, as you all know, I was a professor myself. I intend to return to being a professor, and I've been really impressed at the amount of work and attention this university program team has put into the program and into meeting the insatiable desires of improvement that we've heard from you all and that they've heard from me. So I hope it looks good to you all, and I will turn it back over to Drew with those brief comments of gratitude and requests. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Katie. Thank you for being here, and thank you for your support. We'll get along with our agenda. The agenda is posted on nup.gov if you have questions about when each funding opportunity is going to be presented today. I do want to start out with some introductions from the university program leadership team. We'll start with Aaron Gravel, who's the University and Competitive Research Team Lead at the Office of Nuclear Energy. And so, Aaron, I'll turn the time over to you. Go ahead.